So I picked this up today, friends, and I thought, is this really useful? Is this something that I want to bring into my future? And then I sat there and had no idea, right? Like, this obviously is a water bottle sprayer thing. It is useful, it has purpose, but I haven't used it yet, and I've had it for a while. If you've ever been like me and just sat unsure whether you really needed something or not, or whether you were ready to get rid of something, today I'm going to share with you 5 really simple, easy tips that I use in order to make the best decisions when I am decluttering. So let's go into the first one because it's one of my favorites. So this first one we're going to call the UGG test, the test. Does it pass it? Does it pass the UGG test? And for me, what I'm thinking of when I look at items and decide whether I'm ready to declutter them or not, it's my gut reaction to it that I want to pay attention to first. And the funny thing is that I never used to think or rely on my own feelings about whether I was ready to get rid of anything or not. And now I realize that so often I would overlook that initial reaction because I'd start making excuses after excuses on why that didn't matter and how I could create this whole new scenario where I do actually need to keep these items that I'm not using. But the UGG test is that initial gut reaction that you feel when you look at an object before you have the time to start justifying why you are keeping things. When we are first decluttering and we're going through our box of things and trying to figure out whether we need to keep them or not, the UGG test is incredibly important to pay attention to. And for me, I've realized a lot of times when I'm going through things that I have in my house, like this we were given not too long ago, and we haven't actually used this truck. Now, where it's not gross and horrible, what I will say is that my reaction is, we're not going to use it in the future. It's just something that's taking up a lot of space in my house. And if I haven't used it in the past week and a half, why am I still hanging on to it, thinking that I'm going to use it in the future? So with that idea in mind, holding on to this object, which is just some chalk that my daughter was given, she hasn't asked for it. She doesn't want to use it. Why am I still holding on to it? Ugh, I don't know. It doesn't add any value to my life or my daughter's life. And all I can say is that I've been holding on to it in case one day she wants to use it. And right now, that's just not a good enough answer. So my summer drawer, that thing of shorts right there, has become too crowded. I can already see it's busting out of the top. And that's where this next idea comes to mind when we are decluttering. And that is called the would I pack it rule. All right, so how can we use this idea of would I pack it? There's several different things, several different ideas that you can use, but one of them that you can think of right now is if I'm going on my favorite summer vacation, wherever you like to go, would I pack this item? It's summer right now for me, and so if I don't want to take these summer items with me, and yet I still have them, why do I not want to take them with me? Are they shorts that are just too short or uncomfortable? Does the bathing suit still fit? Is it a pair of shorts that matches everything else that I have? The whole idea of would I pack it is to help you understand what are your favorite things that you have in your closet. If they are not your favorite things, what is making you justify keeping those items in your wardrobe? Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I still make mistakes and I buy clothes that I end up really not enjoying, or I keep them for too long. So you're not alone if you're in the same boat. But what I have found is that using the whole idea of would I pack it with me helps me to really better understand why I'm keeping things that I'm not wearing or how I can be comfortable letting them go. Because honestly, if I didn't pack them on my last trip, why in the world am I still keeping it? One of my favorite things to do as I'm going through these whole decluttering ideas is to remember to talk to myself. I am my very best friend and my biggest critic. And so if those two things are true, then I know that I have my best interest at heart. But sometimes my brain can make up these crazy ideas about why I should keep things that I'm not using because in the future, something might happen. And that's who I call Susan. She likes to talk to me and tell me about all these horrific things that could possibly happen in the future. I don't know if you have a brain like mine, but she talks to me all the time. And I've had to learn over the past 6 years of decluttering how to talk to her nicely, but also firm, and remind myself and her that we are a team here. And if we want to live with less, if we want to live with things that we love, but we don't feel like we're drowning in clutter anymore, then we have to be realistic about the amount of clothing and the amount of things that I can keep up with. I call that my threshold. But once I go past my threshold, I no longer care about what clothing I have anymore because I'm honestly not wearing it because I don't even remember that I have it. So would I pack it? No, it would be at the bottom of the barrel. I'm already saying a few things as I go through here that honestly I have just made the wrong decision about for myself. But today, in the whole thinking of would I pack it, did I pack it on my last camping trip? If the answer is no, then I know for myself and I can talk to Susan and say, hey, we didn't pack it. Here's why. And this is why I continue not to wear it even to this day. So this is going to go, even though she's cute, I just never wear it. This bucket is basically a mix of my summer, my shorts, and all those kind of things. But also I have some bathing suit items in here as well. So it has become a little overstuffed. But in taking out this one thing, it really is just alleviating the basket a little bit more, making it a little more livable. If you didn't pack it or you won't pack it on your next trip, why do you need to keep it in your future? Okay, but where are all of my everything can be sentimental, anything can be sentimental best friends? Is that you? Okay, so this next idea is called the camera test, and I love it for our sentimental items because if you're anything like me, I grew up thinking that anything, everything in the kitchen sink can be sentimental because it belonged to somebody who I used to know or had a story that something happened with it. I can justify keeping any sentimental item. And over the past 6 years, I've learned that about myself. And so therefore, the camera test, for me to be able to step back and see why is my crazy self keeping so many things that I really don't care about or even remember when the day comes for me to go through this stuff, did I remember I even had it? Okay, sorry, I'm getting old, so I had to get off the floor. But when you're going through your sentimental items, the first thing that I like to do or figured out helps me is to have a limit to it. So this is my daughter's things from the age of 0 to 4, and I put them all in this box right here. So what helped me though to get down to just this box was the camera test. Take a picture of the items that you have in your sentimental box. And then I want you to think about, did you care that that picture was even taken a couple weeks later? Were you happy that you still had the object, or was the picture enough? Taking a picture of our sentimental items really helps us not only to feel more secure about letting things go, but I do think it's a really good reminder of when you're looking at the picture of the stuff, did you even care that you had a picture of it? Do you have a really good memory that went along with it? And if you don't, this is adorable, but if you don't care that you had the picture, why do you care? And why are you hanging on to the physical object that's taking up a lot more space? So the picture all comes down to, it's much better to have a smaller amount of highly sentimental objects that bring you a lot of joy every time you look at them, and everything else that you just didn't care to have the physical object. It makes you feel really good that, okay, you have a picture of it. You could even write a little story down and keep it in a notebook with your picture. But having the physical object is usually not necessary in order to have the same feeling, in order to have the same memory with it. One of the best stories of this is the house that my grandmother lived in, my grandfather, when I was growing up, was basically my home. And I was extremely attached to this house. And when my grandfather died and my grandmother ended up moving out, she sold the house. It was like, not only like, it was like a second death in the family losing this house for me. I was so attached to it. And it did take a little while to get over that feeling. But honestly, I can look back now at pictures and I still have the same memories of what we did, all the fun we had in that house. And talking about it is how I remember how fun that house was, because it really wasn't the house, which actually now is knocked down and I don't even drive past it anymore because it's too sad to look at. But the house didn't hold the memories. The house didn't hold anything except for it was a place where the fun and the love happened. And that continues on, and that I can look back at pictures. Okay, so picture this. It is laundry day and all the beautiful clean laundry just came out of the wash. We're folding it. We're having so much fun doing that. And then we come across something in the laundry. I want you to hold it up and I want you to say to yourself, if this object was the last thing, we call it laundry today or naked tomorrow, right? If this was the last thing in your closet, would you be happy wearing this? Would you be happy putting this on, walking out the door, and feel confident, good, and enjoy what you're wearing? If the answer is no, absolutely not, I'd rather die than walk out of the house in this outfit, then why are we still keeping it? Honestly, I don't know why I'm getting out of breath. I think I'm just so excited about this video because I love talking about this stuff that I'm talking too fast and I'm like gonna pass out. But I love the idea of the laundry rule. I love the idea of if this was the last thing in my closet, would I put this on and be happy? Because it challenges because it challenges our whole idea. It challenges our brain. Susan, she's telling us, yes, we have to keep this. We have to hang on to it because what if, or in case, or if I get those jeans that look good with that top, one day I'm gonna wear it. But that's really how we become people that have closets full of clothes and we're throwing things out and yet we're never happy with any of the options in our wardrobe. The only thing that's really helped me in my whole 6 years of decluttering and getting rid of clothes as a retired shopaholic or recovering shopaholic is to say to myself, if I have clothes in my wardrobe that I would never, ever walk out in, then why am I keeping them? You're not gonna find the right pair of jeans. You're not gonna magically lose the 15 pounds. Say to yourself, I should be happy today in my present moment, and I should have clothes that encourage me to be my best self and to be my happiest self, because we never know how many days we have left, right? But that's a positive. That's not a negative. The things that you have in your house, the clothes that you carry with you and you wash time after time, the drawers full of clothes should be only full of things that you feel good in, that you feel happy with having, and that you would happily walk out the door any day of the week in feeling like you're putting your best foot forward. If all we have is a bunch of junky old clothes that we don't feel good in, then getting dressed in the morning is not only going to take more time, but it is wasting all of those precious decisions. And that's giving us decision fatigue every morning because we have all this excess things that we have to go through before we find that outfit that we're really happy with. And if we didn't have that, how magical would that be? You would just put your hands into the drawer with the shorts, pull out a pair, and you knew that you would be happy with it. That's the laundry test. All right, actually, let me put these all back because these are actually dirty clothes. Let me put these all back in. Almost laundry day, right? Almost. Real quick before we move on to the next one, if you want to join a community that is supportive and loving of decluttering and minimizing your life, then please subscribe. And also, if you're already decluttering with us, then throw a heart emoji down below because I get so excited when I know that I am not alone. Okay, so I know when it comes to cleaning, we all have our thing that we enjoy doing. But honestly, one of my least favorite things to do is to dust, especially dusting things that aren't necessary in my house. I'm only keeping them because I'm just used to having them. So this next rule is called the would I want to clean it rule. And it really all comes down to paying attention to the past several years of decluttering all of this decor. And I will say I am absolutely converted to this rule. If I don't want to clean it, if I don't want to dust it, if I don't want to vacuum it and have to keep up with it, why am I keeping it in my life? It is too hard. And that doesn't mean that it's not beautiful. It doesn't mean that it's not useful. It doesn't mean that my house doesn't look better with it in it. But if I have any kind of decor or object furniture in my house and it is beyond my threshold, you will know pretty quickly when you start to think about the rule of would I want to clean it. Now, if you had met me 6 years ago, you would have seen every single wall of this house covered in pictures and objects and picture walls. And that was because I used to think that a home only became a home if every wall was covered. And so walking that back was really difficult for me to understand. But what I came to find is that it is not in the quantity, it is in the quality of the object. And that also comes down to the would I want to clean it rule. If it is a quality item that I really enjoy looking at, I really get pleasure from being around this object, guess who doesn't mind cleaning it? Me. I don't mind. And that's saying a lot as somebody who hates to dust. But when it's something that I don't have any sentimental value to, when it's something that is just another thing, right? Then I don't want to spend my time taking care of it. I don't want to spend my time looking at it and having to dust it. Where is your limit for your house? Everyone's going to look different, okay? But if you can honestly answer that question of, yes, I would want to dust this. Yes, I am excited to dust this because it means that I can keep it in my house, then you're on the right track of finding your threshold, your limit for your clutter, your limit for your decor. All right, friends, I just want to remind you that decluttering and cleaning your house and organizing your house doesn't need to take agonizing hours to do, and you will get to a place where you have a house that you can reset in just a few minutes every single night and feel good living in your home and in your clothes. If you think about these 5 rules, if you start putting them into practice, but this didn't happen overnight for me. As I said, this took several years for me to get to this point. So if you're just starting your journey or you're somewhere in the middle of it, please don't give up, because you will get there. Every little decision you make to declutter something is the decision for you to have an easier and simpler future. And I wish you guys all the very best.